Yo, 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 yo. What's up, man? It's your man Steaming Willie Beeman, the best hairline in UPR for a guy closer to 40 or over. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming to y'all today with with top five storylines, man. You know what I'm saying? So come on in, man. Make sure y'all like, y'all share. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing all that good shit. You know what I mean? Um, we're gonna today is the top five storylines in WWE history. My opinion only. If y'all want to chime in with some of y'all's, by all means, go right ahead, man. But once again, yo 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 yo. This your man Steaming Willie Beeman, man, and I'm coming to y'all with UPR's top five storylines. And I'm gonna start my number five out. Um, and I'm gonna take it back in the day with this one. Um, and I guess I can bring this up because Vince owned the company now. But I'm gonna go with when Hulk Hogan was beefing with the Dungeon of Doom, with Kevin Sullivan and all them. It was sucked. I mean, not sucked, but it was just, I guess, Hulk Hogan's introduction, his beef with a stable or something over there in WCW. Hulkamania going against end up getting the Giant, well, Big Show, Paul White out of that feud. We had Hogan against Kevin Sullivan. We had him against Vader. We had him against what's my man name? Well, they Earthquake, but they had him as Typhoon. One Man Gang made an appearance in the Dungeon of Doom. We had Hugh Morris, one of Goldberg's many victims on the 100th Street, 100 Undefeated Street. I think he beat Hugh Morris like 6 or 7 times, man. It was a oh, what I
I
say
didn't.
wrong.
I didn't hear you. What did you say was your pick there for number five?
I said it was either. I said I know I might get
Either.
brutalized. I said I might get brutalized for it, but it wasn't either. But I would say Hulk Hogan beef with the Dungeon of Doom back in WCW.
That might have
I
been
said
one
it
of
was.
the worst picks I've ever heard in my
I
life.
said it was. Hold on. I said it was horrible, but I
And
just
you really liked it.
no. I said I meant I bought it to number five because it was Hulk Hogan's initial little beef with inside of WCW once he switched over. So that's the only reason why I bought it up for real, for real. You know what I mean? I could have bought up the Four Horsemen. You know what I'm saying, with Chris Benoit and the Dungeon of Doom. I could have bought that up. I could have mentioned that or whatever, but I chose that one to keep Hulkamania alive. Um, my fourth one.
Your fourth one looks like your 4 seconds of fame is over because your Wi-Fi is looking good, but apparently not too good because let's
Okay, there
restart
we
this.
go.
Oh, you're
No,
back.
there we go.
Yeah, you're
Um,
back.
but
Hold on. I'll go with my number five
okay,
because I actually have some stuff for this. So my number five is none other than let's see. Let's go here. I'll start off with WCW as well, and this is the entire unit of the NWO versus Sting, primarily from 1997, but also 1996. The blow off match, of course, was absolutely garbage, but
at
the
Starcade, I was at that Starcade
I
in
wasn't,
MTI Center.
believe it or not, I was not there. But the actual feud, although it was a little tiring, was pretty good and pretty well done. The fact that Sting didn't really get in the ring, but always was around in the rafters and trying to attack, I thought it was very good. So I have to go with Sting versus the NWO from 1997. And Steaming Willie Beeman is Steaming Willie disappearing. Like, what's going on? Okay, stationary. All right. Well, while Willie is getting his life together, I will go to my number four. See if I have it here because I actually wrote notes. So you don't do that around here. My number four. Let's see. There it is. 2019 storyline of Kofi Kingston winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Kofi Mania. I thought it was a very, very good storyline leading up until that WrestleMania, simply because I thought SmackDown was just on fire with all the gauntlet matches they were having. They were putting on some great matches with the New Day. They were putting on some great matches with Kofi Kingston himself. Just really well together. Vince coming out and trying to be off-color racist. I'll say it like that. trying to keep the Kofi Kingston down. I just thought it was just a very good storyline. It made that win feel even more special. So Kofi Mania is my fourth favorite storyline of all time in wrestling. Stephen Willie Beeman, you disappeared because your stationary Wi-Fi is great.
No, it wasn't even that. I had a phone call. But
because you have a phone, not a laptop or a computer.
My number four, I'm going to go with. It was just funny. It's more so funny than ever. Every Mr. McMahon's "Kiss My Ass" storyline when he had everybody coming out there kissing his ass, or they was getting fired. Like I said, mine is more comical than actual, solid. Other than when I get to like my top two, well, no, my top three, because my third one is a nice storyline too that I'm gonna go into next, which is the Triple H, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, that whole WrestleMania storyline of Undertaker beating Shawn, and then the two matches with Triple H, and then them all walking out at the end of the last match with Undertaker and Triple H at the end of the era. I thought that was pretty dope. How they, was really the last of that era, the Attitude Era, and everything. And they had, those three had, 4 great matches. So that's my third storyline is Triple H, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels.
I thought that was your fourth.
I mean, no, that was my third, because my fourth was, like I said, was Mr. McMahon's "Kiss My Ass" storyline.
So you just went to your fourth and your third. Just totally skipped me, even though I've been here.
No, you did your fifth and your fourth, didn't you? Then you
yeah,
did your
but
fifth and your fourth?
you went to the third. Okay, that's fine. Let me go with my number three. My number three is a storyline from the 1980s, and that is a famous storyline. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Randy Savage, with Miss Elizabeth in the middle. Like, ooh, yeah, the mega powers explode. It's a great storyline. It took a year to build, took a year to culminate. I love long-term storytelling. Hogan versus Macho was actually one of the very first long-term storytelling. That's what I'm going to go with. Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Well, I'm the cream of the crop, because I'm the top tier, and the makeup and the Hulkalooza, because I'm the cream of the crop of the UPR. I'm the UPR champion. I'm hosting my own show, and I've been on time, so now I am the cream of the crop. Ooh,
UPR champion's budget doesn't seem to be very high since you're on a phone.
Can you? Well, I am not home where my laptop is.
You knew you had a show today.
Sorry, let me stop before I make everybody dizzy.
Your number two.
My number two, since you mentioned it, I'm gonna take my number two to I'm gonna switch it to the D-Generation X and the Nation of Domination storyline, where we got the most infamous skit ever when my man the fake Owen Hart came out with "Enough is enough and it's time for a change." That whole feud with Rock and Triple H. Then you had Mark Henry and X-Pac. Then you had badass Billy Gunn and them going against D'Lo and my man the Godfather, well, Karma. So that's my second favorite storyline. No, as a matter of fact, that's I gotta go with Austin there. I gotta go with Austin and Bret Hart. That's my number two, Austin and Bret Hart. I'm sorry, because that's where we got the rise of Stone Cold, the most badass heel that everybody had to love. So he ended up becoming a white hat face. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bret Hart and the end of the hero era into the Attitude Era.
Ironically, my number two is the DX versus Nation of Domination thing. I've always, I think of all the faction versus faction storylines, this was one of the best ones. I have an honorable mention for my second favorite one, but the Nation versus DX was just spectacular. It's one of the greatest feuds of the Attitude Era. It produced so many great memories. It produces so much great talent coming from those two factions. So I'm going to go with DX versus the Nation Domination for my number two. Before you hit number one, Willie, I'm going to mention some honorable mentions. I have one honorable mention. I have three honorable mentions, but the one honorable mention I was going to mention was actually my second favorite faction versus faction storyline, which was none other than the Shield versus the Wyatt family from 2013. I just thought it was a really, really intriguing storyline. That definitely needs to get a lot. I mean, they had a great match, and it definitely just needs to get it shines. So I'm going to go with that. Also, I have another honorable mention. My honorable mention is going to go from 1998, their first initial feud, 1997 going 1998. That got to be Kane, Undertaker versus Kane, leading up to the WrestleMania 14 match. Kane being the Undertaker's little brother. Once again, it was just the emotion of it. It was a fantastic feud going up into WrestleMania 14, so I got to do it. And my last honorable mention I'm going to mention is Shawn Michaels versus Vince McMahon from 2006. Just because I love their WrestleMania 22 match so much, because that storyline from November of 2005 to, it actually lasted a little bit longer because it brought back the reformation of DS, but to their WrestleMania match, which I didn't want to see at first, but if you look at how much Shawn Michaels got his ass whooped for the 4 or 5 months from Vince McMahon, seeing out every single goon after goon after goon after goon, Shawn Michaels just got his ass completely handed to him the whole time. And then having that culmination of that fight was spectacular. I love that particular feud. I mean, then we went to some God being in the corner of Shawn Michaels and all that. It got a little ridiculous, but still love that feud. Willie, what is your number one?
Well,
it's about to be Willie versus Chris. You keep smoking on air.
I already know what your number one. Their number one is.
What's going on?
You mentioned my number one as an honorable mention. My number one is Kane the Undertaker. That was soap opera at its finest. That was writing. That was just creative at its best. From Paul Bearer turning on the Undertaker and him letting it be known that his brother's still alive, like. And it made us believe, like, for real, like, you had people actually asking him, was they really brothers and stuff like that, still to this day, until, kayfabe got broken. My honorable mention is Austin versus Vince McMahon. That's my honorable mention. I'm pretty sure that's your number one, but yeah, I'm gonna go with
it. Is my number one. That's gonna be your honorable mention, but it is my number one. This is what brought wrestling to the forefront. NWO started it. This shot it to the upper atmosphere. Austin versus McMahon. I don't think wrestling would be where it is today if it wasn't for Austin versus McMahon. So I got to give it up for Austin versus McMahon. My number one feud of all time.
Oh man, well, I want to say, great minds tend to think alike, Chris, and we don't be on the opposite side of the spectrum as we think we do. So I got to say kudos to you, man, for having a little bit of genius in you, man, for when you think like me. So I wanted to give you props. Oh, shout out to my boy Riddle too, man, for those amazing tickets that wrote. Sorry I ain't had no pictures because my phone was dead, but I make sure that don't happen next time.
Please don't. He said you're welcome, by the way. All right, well, say goodbye to everybody.
All right, guys. I don't know if we had any viewers in this motherfucker because we didn't promote it all, but okay, we did. Okay, all right. Well, I want to say thank y'all for joining, man, and I see y'all same time, same bat channel, same bat time next week for we're gonna do top 5 Rumble surprises. That's gonna be next week's show. Top 5 Rumble surprises. It's your man Steamin' Willie Beamer. This is the executive asshole. Y'all know what I'm going to do. And we out. 420.